Guys Sports Night. Yeah. Guys Sports Night. Yeah. Are you ready? We are ready. Are you ready? We are ready. You are ready, you know. Will and Ed in the chair, you already know. From off-season grind to that post-season glow. We talk all sports all the time, let it roll. From the OHIO to the rest of the globe. This is Sports Night anthem for the guys, for the crew. Hottest topics on the table, we coming straight to you. Nothing off limits, every take, every show. Don't just listen, join in. Are you ready? Let's go!
Greetings, everybody. Welcome to Guys Sports Night. It is your host, Will McEwen, as always, with my man, Ed. What's up, dude?
What up, Will?
I tell you what is up. Apparently, I need a producer. So if you're out there and you're interested in being a producer on a podcast show, dude, we would love to have you come on board right here out of Medina, Ohio. Check us out. Anyway, Ed, a lot of stuff going on. Let me ask you a question.
Yes, sir.
In order to be a solid sport or to get the attention of the public, do we need champions and great athletes or controversy or both?
Ooh. I think it's got to be a good balance of both, man. I don't think without champions, I don't think there is, without champions, I don't think there is any controversy.
I don't think without controversy, there isn't people watching.
Yeah.
You talk about the Olympics. What's the one story you heard about the entire time during the Olympics?
Outside of Lindsey Vonn tearing her ACL, which brutal, and she did. You know what? She did have to get life flighted. I heard she fell and hurt herself. In addition to that, while she was skiing,
dude,
she tore her ACL.
Did you
went
see
out
the
there
incident?
and competed, and then just absolutely wiped out.
Yeah,
I didn't see it. I don't really want to watch that type of stuff. I still get a little queasy stomach. I don't like to see people get hurt and injured like that, man.
So it wasn't as bad. It wasn't it's not like a football knee injury. It's not like Nick Chubb where it makes you physically want to vomit.
Yeah, where
right?
me and you were in the same room watching it, and we're just oh shit.
Yeah, life ruined. But it was in a sense where 41, 42 years old, still competing at Olympic level, and to have that happen 13 seconds into your run, it was brutal. Basically, she cut it whatever they call those flag things. She cut it just enough to where it caught her mogul or whatever they call those things, or stick. And because it caught her, it turned her sideways, and she just had no chance of landing it. She just basically turned sideways and boom, right into the ground. And anyhow, controversy, right? That's the first story you heard of the Olympics.
It's not. I guess it's controversial.
I think it was controversial because she had a torn ACL not long before that, and she was competing, and then for that to happen after working so hard to get back at it. And then what was story number 2?
It was Team Canada with curling. He definitely touched it twice.
Definitely cheated. Canadian, you cheaters. That's why Trump has to get you with extra tariffs.
What the fuck?
We know they're cheating. They're cheating in tariffs, and they're cheating in the Olympics. It's ridiculous.
Listen, all I know is they're lying about their bacon. All it is ham. Okay. That's all I know about Canada. Okay.
Well, then the women did it too.
Did they do it?
Well, they got caught for it though.
Okay.
So apparently, I watched the thing where they explained to you, but you're not allowed to touch it at all once that thing hits the whatever they call it, the rock hits the green line. And she definitely let go too late. It was more of an accident. It wasn't a cheating. His was a blatant poop. And that's funny because their excuse was it's not like he sent it an extra 6 feet because of that. And I'm like, well, why would you wouldn't want it to go an extra 6 feet, otherwise you would just hit it harder.
So I want to make a comparison here. This is exactly what this is in terms of when you're out on the PGA and you touch your golf ball and it moves. That is a stroke. They count that against it. So
even if it goes an inch and rolls back into the same spot,
it's not the same in terms of the correlation of how those two work. But once you touch it once, you can't touch it again.
Well, it'd be like if it was a foot putt, and then on your follow through, you just kind of slowed it down a little bit, by touching the top of the ball, or gave it a little bit of a boost by just hitting it again on your follow through. I mean, it's a double hit. It's a double hit. It's cheating. Either way. Controversy sparked interest. I don't think anybody was even paying attention to the Olympics, but they are now because everybody hates Canada.
Can I ask you something? And I genuinely want a real answer here. This is completely off of topic of kind of what we're going into. Is it a generational thing for my generation to have lack of interest in the Olympics versus, I guess, an older gentleman like yourself that is,
An older gentleman.
Of the later ages of what can I say?
No, I think it's pride in your country.
I just don't have any like desire to watch it.
That's sad, right? So, and don't get me wrong, part of it is this: we see there's so many different levels of championship play in, in every sport, whether it's snowboarding, ice skating, whatever. Like, there's always a competition, right? And we're gonna get into even cheerleading later. Say that 8 times fast. We're going to get to cheerleading later, and they're actually trying to apply for the Olympics as well.
Okay,
they were one of the top 40, but I guess only 20 sports get selected. They missed that for the next games. But either way, even in cheerleading, my daughter competed in a national competition, the second national competition of the year.
Subtle flex.
Yeah, subtle.
Subtle flex.
They compete in multiple national championships.
Yeah.
And it's funny because like Indiana has a Jam Fest. That's a national championship. Tennessee has a national championship, et cetera. Anyhow, so all these sports, they have so many championships, like even baseball, we have the World Series. We have now the WBC. Like there's just, and then you go overseas, there's international league play, and there's all these different things. So they're already all competing on such a level all the time that the Olympics have kind of lost luster. The other thing of it, and this is an interesting topic we could touch on, I think part of what was the Olympics originally? Like before the Dream Team, do you remember who competed in the Olympics? It was non-professional athletes.
Yeah, it's amateur athletes,
right?
Yeah.
But now you talk about athletes that have the ability to cross-train across country, like in different countries, different times of the year for their sport. Because, I mean, think about it. If you were a snowboarder from Florida, you'd be limited on your training capabilities throughout the year. But now they can travel to the Alps. Now they can go here, and they're backed by sponsors. This year in the Olympics, they have drones that travel and follow these guys up to 100 miles an hour, personal drones for video footage and stuff like that.
And I got to say, the quality at which they're capturing all this video and us seeing it's incredible.
It is so insane.
I haven't paid too much attention to it. I'll own that. I just have different priorities for different things right now. But the stuff that I have seen, it's awesome. Like they make some really good coverage out of a lot of this. Like I think it's great what they're doing. I just, for some reason for me right now, just at this time, I just don't know why I have no interest in really diving headfirst.
Well, I think the other thing is, and I don't think it's specific. I think it's specific to our country. I think there's such a division in our country. And it's funny, even, what is it, NBC, who's carrying all the coverage, has the ads like 3 weeks where we're all on the same side. Well, we should be on all the same side for the whole year.
Yeah.
But some of these other countries that are starting, and they've talked about it, like some of the smaller countries that aren't the medal giants, like the Chinas and the US and the Germany, is like the smaller countries are starting to develop athletes and steal some of those medals away because it's more. If you're a small country, I feel like the entire country is behind that athlete that's showing up and going to the Olympics for them. Where we look at it is like, I think it's incredible that Shaun White won another gold medal because I don't know, he's been doing it since I feel like I was a kid. But
like 18?
Yeah, dude. But at the
Isn't he like 50?
He's got to be, dude. I mean, but then at the same point in time, so many Americans have seen Shaun White win so many different things over the course of his career and all the different championships and all the different tournaments and all the different stuff that happens.
He's 39.
He's only 39.
He's only 39. He was born in 1986.
It's still 21 years he's been competing. I feel like he might have been 15 the first time he competed in the Olympics, roughly.
I would have no idea on
Google
that.
It. But yeah, I think that's part of it. I think that the lack of national pride in our own country and the fact that it's like deemed kind of a negative thing if you're proud to be an American, especially right now when you got ICE banging down on doors and chasing people out, and you got local police departments trying to keep them out, and these people are happy, and we want illegal immigrants to steal all our money, but we don't want them here, and we do want them here, and we have to fight for them, and then we go get people thrown in jail and all this stuff happening. So I think that people are just really down on America right now, and then that ties into the Olympics. Like people are just like, we don't care. And you couple that with the fact that it's not amateur athletes competing in these games anymore. It's professional athletes getting paid millions and millions of dollars that have resources that Olympic athletes in the past didn't have when they trained to do something great. And I think that's just kind of almost ruined the sport, really. Even you look at the Dream Team, right? Like, it was cool when they won because it was like, hey, our own NBA players are like showing pride when the original Dream Team came in and won. Now it's like, basically it's the NBA playing with their home jerseys on from the country they were born in when you watch the Olympic basketball tournament.
I also think the fact that one big thing the U.S. just hasn't won a ton. They have 6 gold medals right now, 10 silver, and 5 bronze, with Norway leading the charge with almost triple digits in every category.
Almost triple digits.
Yeah, they have 14. They have 14
That's
gold
double
medals.
digits.
Oh, did I say triple digits?
You
Oh, I'm
did.
sorry.
That would have been really impressive.
Double
if They
digit.
won like all the gold medals that are available.
But they have 14 gold medals in 3 categories in double digit figures, I should say. They have 14 gold medals. They have 8 silver and 3 bronze. And for a total of 31 medals. So, I mean, they're leading the charge. And the next best one up, or the next best country to touch them, is Italy with 24 medals.
Yeah, and I think it's early too, though. I mean, you got to look. Some of the things that are impressive is the U.S. women's and men's hockey teams are both favorites to win the gold medal in hockey. So, I mean, things will go on throughout the rest of this where you'll start to see some changes in the medal count. It usually starts off slow in the beginning because a lot of the things that we excel at are some of the end things toward the ends. But I think they've only got 5 days left, so we'll see what happens.
You ever see Miracle?
Yeah.
It's a great movie.
It is a great movie.
It's just like anytime I see that, I was just like,
It's like a feel-good. Yeah.
It gets you amped.
Feel good movie.
It's like Rudy.
Do you have national pride? Are you like, fuck yeah, we're the Americans?
Fuck yeah.
Yeah, that's what the Olympics used to be.
You ever see
like as a kid, I used to like check the medal count in the Medina Gazette when I was in high school because I wanted to be like, we better be beating fucking China. You know what I mean?
You ever
now
see,
I haven't paid attention to it.
You ever see the Four Nations tournament?
No.
With hockey, you've never heard of that?
Oh,
dude,
that was just last year, right?
Yeah, it was either last year or the year before, I
did
believe.
actually hear about that
It's
recently.
fucking sweet.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Well, I mean, see, but here's another example, the WBC. Like, would you even watch Olympic baseball? The WBC is a much higher level of entertainment, most likely. Which we're
Well,
gonna
that's
get
because
into.
that's professional athletes, not amateur athletes. To be, again, got to separate that.
Well, let's transition into that. Hopefully you've got some notes. You're more of the baseball guy. Ed knows ball when it comes to baseball.
I've been told otherwise.
I know baseball from
otherwise.
like 20 years ago because for whatever reason, instead of like following the math and as I get older, being more obsessed with it, I have somehow become less successful or less obsessed with it. But I did look some things up and I have some interesting facts for you.
Go ahead.
Let's see. What did I want to share with you? So I was surprised at this. Taiwan actually beat Japan in international ball last year in a tournament. So I was like, and that was with a fully loaded Japan team.
Yeah.
They beat them the year before as well. That was without Shohei and without, what's his name? So I was like, oh, is Taiwan the underdog here that nobody's really paying attention to? But I was actually more interested in the fact, and I thought I put some notes down here. I sure as heck did. I swear. Maybe I put them on. Oh, I put them on yours. Give me that. That's got my interesting factoids. Damn it.
I wasn't going to say anything. I was just going to let you struggle for a second.
You did let me struggle.
You know what? It's not it's not for the fact that I don't love you or anything.
No. So what I thought was funny, and this is where I actually think this is great. Could you imagine if this happened with the U.S. team? But Chechnya,
okay.
their ace is a firefighter who throws an 83-mile-an-hour fastball.
Yeah. You'll get that, man. I mean, countries will have players that like they have full-time day jobs and they'll go out there and they'll beat them too.
4 years ago or whatever it was, 3 years ago when they played, their best player was an electrician.
Yeah. Yeah.
And he did well in the tournament.
These guys just have like these stay-at-home jobs.
And then Brazil is actually
stay at home, but they have their own like
they have regular day jobs. They're blue-collar guys. And then the most recent thing that I read was Manny Ramirez's son is actually playing for Brazil. Which I didn't even know Manny Ramirez's son was in the league. That just goes to show like how dating
Manny Ramirez Jr.
Is it Ramirez Jr.?
Probably. I mean,
it should be.
I mean, it would make a lot of sense to that.
I guess last year he had a decent season in rookie ball, but I didn't realize he was playing for Brazil. That was intriguing to me. But yeah, I mean the pools are out, the rosters are set.
Yeah.
I put some extra notes on that one since I thought that was the one that I was going to be using as well. I didn't realize there were so many rules when it came to the rosters when it comes to eligibility. You know, I guess this is the first year that 37 years and older you weren't allowed to play. You were basically because of the insurance policy, right? Yeah. I've got a couple of names on there like Lindor and I think Baez were both kicked.
It's Lindor, Correa. Altuve is actually the other one in there that he can't suit up. Same with, I guess, Mike Trout as well. I guess they're having an insurance problem with him.
Are they really?
Trey Turner, I believe. In fact, I think Trey Turner actually hit a grand slam in the World Baseball Classic a couple years ago in 2023, and he wasn't even asked to participate in this past WBC, which is crazy. Which is crazy because he's still a high competitive athlete, but for some reason he just wasn't asked. So
interesting. Yeah, that does surprise me. So as the rosters are getting set, what is your opinion as far as how the U.S. has put their team together?
Well, I think the U.S. has put a great team together. I think they went a little bit younger. I think they actually have something that they lacked in 2023, which is like front end pitching, because you have Tarek Skubal and Paul Skeens now, which, I mean, you didn't have that in 2023. And you had Merrill Kelly going out there and being the ace of that team. He's just one of the guys I remember from that team specifically. But they lacked that. They lacked pitching heavily, and that's what really killed them at the end of the tournament. Even if they got to the championship, it was a tough grind to get there. Now that you have arguably the two best young pitchers, both from the right-handed side and left-handed side, they're going to be unstoppable. They're going to be crazy good.
I mean, that would be exciting.
I don't think people really understand the fact that this team may actually mollywop teams by like 12 runs.
You think it's going to be that dominating?
If you go up against somebody that like throws 83 miles an hour, I'm sorry, but you're gonna get that thing taken 450 deep, no problem.
Dude, I love that though. That's gonna be great.
Like if someone's throwing me an 83 mile an hour heater, I'm sitting on it and just cranking it. So I think this team's gonna do a lot of great things. I really do think that this could be the tournament that they win for the first time since 2017. Japan's won it 3 times.
Yeah, they got to get another one in there. Otherwise, it's going to be kind of embarrassing, right?
I mean, especially because you come to the U.S. to play baseball. You know, obviously you go, either to Japan or Mexico or anywhere else to play. Obviously, you're going to play to get paid. But this is the MLB. This is the largest market. This is the largest crowds. This is the most money that you can make in this tournament.
You've got me so pumped up about this. Like, I can't wait to see how it ends up unfolding when it comes to the not only the level of the play, but the closeness of the games. I look forward to seeing. I mean, I think that the way they set the pools up because they know who they want the Final Four to be. Right? It's not like they put any less thought into that than.
I want to be accurate with this, so I have this pulled up here, and I just want you to hear this. So we talked about eligibility. This is just the restrictions that a person has. So a pitcher cannot pitch more than 85 pitches per game in the qualifying round, 65 pitches per game in the first round, 80 pitches per game in the second round, and 95 pitches per game in the championship round.
Okay.
And a pitcher can finish a batter's plate appearance even if the limit is reached, but it must come out after completing that.
So when you say the qualifying round, tell me what the layout looks like for those of us who don't watch the WBC, but tell me what that layout looks like. Qualifying round, is that your seeding? Because I've got the what's it called out, and it doesn't have it.
Can you actually do me a favor? Can you pull this? It'll be a better visual. I can't describe it in words too well. You're just going to have to pull it up in a visual sense.
All right, give me just a minute.
You're good.
What am I pulling up? The poll?
Yeah, just go qualifying round or qualifying bracket WBC 2026.
Goodness. Can I spell tonight?
Can we function tonight? Do we need a caffeine sponsor?
We should.
We should definitely have a caffeine sponsor.
Shout out to Why Not Solutions. If you're looking to get something created in wood, whether it be a cutting board like this awesome one that they built for us here, or a plaque, veteran plaque, somebody you want to appreciate or thank or memorialize, they are the ones to do it. Why Not Solutions? Links in the description. Make sure you mention Guys Night, KNIGHT. And they will hook you up. My man Trey over there is running that show, running extremely well, and it's just awesome to meet somebody who's got so much passion in something to do what they're doing over there and to create something individually. And no matter who you are, you're going to get the hands-on appreciation that you expect without the dealer pricing that you might see at those expensive art galleries. All right, so we're looking up the WBC qualifying round.
It should have a bracket. If not, it pretty much goes into the fact that the first 16 teams were the best 16 teams from the last tournament, and then the 4 new teams that come in would play.
All right, so here we go. I'm going to share my screen so that everybody that's watching can kind of go ahead and check this out. Let's see here. Share screen.
This is via MLB.com.
All right, so you guys at home should be able to see our screen. Where's my mouse? There we go. Why does this not want to pull up? You know, some things.
Good grief.
All right, guys, you guys should be able to see that now. But all right, so we've got Pool A, Pool B. This isn't going to show us qualifying round.
Golly. But again, pretty much there were 4 teams that replaced the bottom 4 teams or bottom 4 performers from last tournament. These are the 4 new teams that come in to compete.
Gotcha.
Okay, that's pretty much what it is. I wish it had the bracket.
Are qualifying to make it into the final.
Yeah, think of it like
they've already done. That's why we have pool.
Think of it like the first 4. You know, you see a March Madness tournament, you think of the first 4.
Yeah,
they play. Those are 2 teams that play the 16 seeds.
Okay,
they compete to play. Or I'm sorry, they compete for the 16 seed to play the number 1 seed. You know how it's like 1 and 16, 2 and 15.
Yeah, of course.
So it's essentially roughly the same thing. Not really, but you know what I'm saying here. They're playing for to qualify to get in to play in their pool bracket.
All right, and then from there they're playing quarterfinals and then eventually semifinals.
Yeah, quarterfinals, semis, and then championships. And
so total, you're probably playing 4 or 5 games. So it's not a long, drawn out process. It's done in 2 weeks.
But there's multiple games, dude.
Gotcha.
I mean, you only have 2 weeks. It's from the 5th to the 17th. So you have roughly 12 days.
Okay.
To get from start to finish. And there's a lot of games. They're played all day long. You know, you got to, dude, look how many, there's 20 teams here. I mean,
yeah.
How are 20 teams going to play?
Well, first one's going to narrow it down to 10. Second one's going to narrow it down to 5. How does that work?
Exactly.
You going to buy?
Yeah. You have to play. There's different, like you have to play more than one game at some point.
Gotcha. All right.
I'm going to sound like a fucking idiot trying to explain this, but it's hard to explain all the formality to it.
Well, you should have thought about that before you just showed up and said you're ready to go. And
thank you. I'm well aware, Will.
Once again, folks, if you want to talk about how well Ed knows ball, this is the time to comment down below.
God damn it, Will.
I brought you on as the expert.
Me.
I didn't even pay attention to baseball in the last 5 years.
Fucking killing me here, man. Fucking just hanging me out to dry.
Speaking of other things,
here's the thing. Look at this. Would you look at this? You could see the Pool A runner-up will play the Pool B winner.
All right. See, now you're going to do this to me again, and I don't have it pulled up for our listeners. There's 6 of them right now. We're going crazy here. Speaking of listeners, if you guys are on, make sure you stay with us till 7 o'clock. We've got a special guest coming in from the Pro Cheer League. Lark Wood, one of the creators of the games and part of the actual league, is going to be joining us to talk about their second week and not to mention what's up for the future and what this week brought them some excitement and a little bit of a different perspective from the fans. It was great to be there live again and get to speak with Lark as well as Commissioner Newby and see that they've got some amazing plans for the future of this league. All right, we should be able to pull it again. Here we go. Let's try this one more time.
Do you see now what I'm saying? So, your Pool A runner-up will play your Pool B winner. Your Pool B runner-up will play your Pool A winner. Those are stemmed from both those pools right there.
Hold on 1 second, buddy. We're sharing the wrong screen.
No.
Yeah, this is what happens when you try to do everything.
We really need an editor.
No, we don't need an editor. We need a producer, buddy.
The same difference.
It's not that bad when, prepared. All right, what are we on? All right, here we go. Sorry, guys. All right, so we got Pool A in the first day, Pool B in the first round. So
all these guys are going to be playing against each other.
Gotcha.
Okay.
And that's the 6th through the 11th.
So the runner-ups of Pool A, so the best team out of Pool A will play, obviously be Pool A winner. They'll play the runner-up or the Pool B winner. Those 2 teams will play each other and vice versa. Your Pool A runner-up will play your Pool B winner. Then either of those wins will advance on to the championship or semifinals rounds, and that'll be determined by your quarterfinals, That'll go down into your semifinals winners 1 and semifinals winners 2.
All right, so the big deal is those initial pool games, they're going to play multiple games against each other in order to figure it out. Okay, because that's a 5-day span. It's not until after that then they start to go 1-to-1 games. So it drags out a little bit while they finalize the seedings for the quarterfinals, and then once that's done, then it's one game, et cetera.
Exactly. And then the championship game is March 17th. And the best thing is now that Pool C and Pool B, you have the United States versus Japan. At some point, I hope there's a rematch there.
Yeah.
I would love to see it because now Yamamoto and Shohei are both going to be playing for Japan.
Japan's so stacked this year, dude.
They got a good team, man. They got a really good team. But I want to emphasize and stress the fact that the United States is going all out this year. This is one of the best teams I've seen in a very, very, very long time. 2017 was good. That was very memorable. That was obviously the first win. I mean, that's your first child right there.
Sure.
That was your first baby. This team right here could spank the ever-living shit out of that team.
Yeah.
I truly think the United States 2026 team versus 2017, if you put them back to back, there's no comparison with each other.
I believe you.
There's better talent all up and down in 2026 than there was in 2017. I think there's going to be a lot more pride that goes into this. I'm really excited for this. I apologize for messing up my speech on the seating portion of things. I don't know everything. I know some things.
All right, so let's. Is USA your pick to win this thing?
100%. No question. I think there's too much good talent on one team. It's too imbalanced. There's a lot of good stars. There's a lot of stars that I miss. I wish I could see Lindor, Correa, Altuve, Trout. So many different guys. I would love to see all of them, but I mean, it is what it is at that point. I just want to share this factoid with you, actually.
Yeah.
I found this the other day. I want to just ask you, do you want to know what Shohei hit and pitched in the WBC in 2023?
Yeah, because that's only, 6 games, roughly? 7?
Yeah. So he hit 435. Okay, he had a batting average of 435. So
not fair, dude. He went
43.5% of the time. His on-base percentage was 606. So he was getting on almost 61 on base 61% of the time, almost. And his slugging was 73.9.
Wow, dude,
okay,
that's insane.
That is unreal. His ERA was 1.86 with 11 strikeouts in over an entire baseball game at 9 2/3 innings.
Wow, dude. Yeah, dude. Shohei's a ridiculous.
That dude was an animal. Now he's not pitching, so he's just strictly hitting.
Yeah, so he's gonna bat like 700 during this week.
He's gonna go nuclear. This may be crazy to see.
All right, so let's transition because we've only got about 15 minutes before Lark's gonna join us. Speaking of things that I haven't paid attention to in a long time.
The NBA dunk contest.
How about just the NBA All-Star Weekend in general? You know, I forgot it was the NBA All-Star Weekend until I was getting on a flight to Georgia Friday morning.
Yeah.
And the couple behind me, they were with their kid and they were all excited and they ran into somebody they knew and they're like, "Oh, you're going on vacation?" She's like, "No, my husband won tickets or actually somebody won tickets at my husband's work and they didn't want to go, so they gave them to him. We're going to All-Star Weekend in Los Angeles." And I was like, "Oh shit, that's this weekend? I would have never guessed."
Could have totally fooled me.
No clue.
Fooled me.
Yeah, and then here's the best part. NBC, who had the All-Star game this year, also has the Olympics.
Oh boy.
So they bumped up All-Star Saturday night like 3 hours. People were getting home expecting to watch the All-Star game or the All-Star, the skills test and the dunk contest.
Yeah.
It was over.
Yeah.
It was already over. So it was funny because my daughter, she actually competed Saturday night at like 8. I think it was like an 8:20 start time. So she had to be there at like 6 o'clock because the one thing about competitive cheerleading is like a 6-hour call time.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know why, but they have to be there like 6 hours beforehand so they can hang out in a room and talk to each other about, boys or whatever.
You can't see it. She's getting the background going nuts, going, "No, we don't."
Anyhow, so I saw it when I was leaving the hotel room. I thought it was like probably like the Super Bowl. Now I got like a 3-hour halftime show, but not the case. So Lillard wins the 3-point contest. Did you see that?
Yeah.
Okay. I
did
not see.
He hasn't played a game this season.
Not at all.
Recovering from an Achilles injury.
Yeah.
Yeah, and wins the 3-point contest.
So the thing that I wanted to bring up was, well, first of all, it's a whole different format, and the guys actually tried. I don't know if you saw the scores. Like they were
did.
all like,
I saw they did try.
Yeah, like it was a
I heard they did try as well.
effort, and which was awesome to see. What I didn't see is the dunk contest, so I figured I'd pull up a little bit of it so we could see some highlights here. This is like a minute and a half. We'll see what won, but I did see a few guys. I was hoping I could pull up the video of it. I did see a couple of guys fail miserably, and it was kind of difficult to watch.
Yes, Jace Richardson
Was it got
hurt
stuff-
himself. Yeah, he
Yeah.
hurt himself. He tried to go up for his dunk and he fell back and hit his head.
Yeah,
He hurt
looks pretty
himself.
gruesome, dude. I think the sad part is you don't even know who's competing in these
That's
anymore.
the thing. Like, you want to know something? You want to know the last time they took away the dunk contest was after 1997, and they brought it back in 2000.
I didn't even remember them taking it away.
No,
Wow.
they took it away. You want to know? You want to know who was in that time period? You want to know who's between them? The last year and the year they brought it back.
Yeah.
It was Kobe's year.
96?
Yeah, when he won the dunk contest that year, rookie Kobe went up against Michael Finley.
Wow.
And you want to know the year in 2000 when they brought it back? That was Vince Carter's iconic dunk contest.
Well, it's one of those things where, you know, like the name of the show, right? It's controversy and champions, right? And the dunk contest, like, it only does well if you've got somebody like LeBron James never did the dunk contest.
Because he didn't want to get hurt.
I get it, but now at this point, like, his farewell season, dude, he better do the dunk contest. Like, you know, he's coming back to Cleveland next year. Because why not, dude? Nobody wants to watch some guy they've never heard of do the same dunk they've seen 100 freaking times. They want to see something that's different. I know it's getting harder and harder, but we talk about, like, and we're going to transition. This will be perfect to transition to the next segment, but leagues have to adapt to athletes. And I think we talked about the NBA is one of the worst culprits of this because the athletes have outgrown the gym, right?
Yep.
Did you put a 12-foot rim at the dunk contest? That would didn't somebody do that?
Dwight Howard already did that.
Yeah, Dwight Howard did the 12-foot dunk.
Yeah.
And that was interesting, right? And once again, a superstar.
Yeah. I mean, we've watched players jump over hoods of cars.
Yeah.
A 12-foot dunk. We've seen the free throw dunk reattempted
I've seen it
multiple
like 5 times. Right, yeah.
Gerald Green blew out a cupcake on top of the actual, like, there's a connection piece where the rim actually sits and where it touches the backboard, there's a little flat piece. He actually blew it out. As he was dunking, he blew it out and dunked it.
Yeah, dude.
We've seen everything. I mean, we've seen everything.
Yeah,
There's
so-
been a lot of iconic dunk contests. Don't get me wrong. For me personally, where it all fell off and fell apart was after 2016, which was Aaron Gordon and Zach LaVine. If you've never seen that dunk contest,
dude.
it's one of the greatest. It's probably
Zach
arguably
LaVine
the
was
greatest.
amazing, dude. That was
he's
one of
the
the best.
best.
That was. I didn't realize he was such a freak athlete
He's
until I saw
insane.
that, and I was like, this dude could literally jump out of the gym.
Yeah. You know where he went to college?
I don't.
UCLA.
No kidding.
Yeah. Yeah. He's a California kid.
Well, I mean, that just goes to show, though, like, those are the things that we're talking about. We remember. And it would be great for the NBA to bring some of that back.
Yeah.
And I think you're going to have to do it. And the same thing with the 3-point contest. Like, the guys are hitting the same amount of threes now than they were before. You're going to have to start expanding that out. I need to add 5 feet to that shot in order to make it like the home run contest where all these excellent 3-point shooters come back after the All-Star break and they can't shoot for shit because they've been shooting lights out from half court in order to try and make something happen.
You know what? Honestly, screw it. You know what we need? We need retirees versus, like, new school versus old school. Like, you have guys that are maybe 3 years and under that are in the league that play versus just retired, like 3 years and past the guys that just retired.
Dude, that's hilarious.
Could you imagine how, okay, it'd probably be boring, but at least be something interesting. It'd give me something to, like, look forward to. Like, could Nate Robinson at 40 years old still cross over somebody? Like, I don't know. I want to see something different, but I think, honestly, the All-Star game has lost its meaning. It's lost its pizzazz. It used to be an actual showcase of the best of the best. Now it's just there. Sure, you're still showcasing the best of the best, but it's lost its popularity within, the group of people that that love the NBA.
Yeah.
Its fandom are bored of it. I think they just need to say, "Hey, you made the All-Star team. Congrats." That's it. Don't make a weekend out of it anymore.
Well, I think you could have done the same format that you did this year and just did East versus West. There's still something that you have to create that energy. And like I said, when you guys have athletes trying like they did this year, it definitely makes a difference in the way that things go. And we'll see what happens as that continues to make a difference.
Gun to your head, can you tell me the last time you watched the All-Star game? And if so, who was the MVP of the All-Star game?
The last time I watched an All-Star game.
Yeah, and who was
Honestly,
the MVP
it
in
was
your head?
I know that LeBron was in it. I don't think he was the MVP. I think it was the year Durant won. the MVP.
Do you want to know something? I couldn't even tell you what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Goes to show how boring it is. You know what they need to bring back, actually? Fuck
that?
it. Let's bring back the Celebrity All-Star game.
Yeah. Yeah, the Celebrity All-Star game would be a good time.
Let's do something decent.
Yeah.
I would love to see it.
All right, Ed. So we don't have a whole lot going on. So I was fortunate enough this weekend to go once again see the Pro Cheer League. I got to see it in person this time, and even more impressed than I was before. So I know you haven't had an opportunity to watch anything.
I have not. No.
So I got a little video here that I'm gonna play so that you can kind of get wound up, so you get yourself some questions before we have Lark join us here in just a minute.
Gotta get myself wound up here. Wound up.
But couple of things that sorry guys. Couple of things that I wanted to share. One, sold out 2 days before the actual event took place. I think they fit somewhere around 3,300 people in there roughly. Couple of things that they did that was really cool. One, they had some of the level 6, which is still high school athletes, roughly 17, 16, 18-year-olds. They had them come out ahead of time and do their routines. And these aren't just regular cheer schools. They're the elite of the elite. They have fans. In fact, their fans are so much. It's so insane.
They're like Mount Verde and Oak Hill schools.
No, this is like
the IMG Academy
it's like
schools.
Beyond this.
Okay.
I can't even justify. Here's how. So the Pro Cheer League has seats that they sell.
Yeah.
Well, they don't do that during the actual competitions for all the kids. So when these schools are competing, then there is not a place to sit, and I can't even explain how big these spaces are. Think of, well, actually, I could think of the queue without layered seats.
Yeah,
just a flat area, but the entire area.
So you're just sitting at ground level, pretty much.
Yes.
Okay.
6,000, 7,000 kids watching these girls. So they bring them on first, get the crowd all pumped up. The kids love it. They have them do like a minute routine, a little game, like to just challenge them a little bit. It was pretty exciting. So that was the first time they did that, and they donate some money to a fundraiser in their name. And then they come on and they get everybody amped up again. And this is just a little highlight video of, what happened. Do me a favor, just let me know how this sounds, Allie, so I can make sure that it's not terrible. But here we go.
What about Dallas Drive? What about all the athletes are warming up backstage. Let's let them know on the count of 3 how excited we are to see them. 1, 2, 3.
That is insane right there.
It's all impressive.
So these are some of those are some of the competitions, and we'll get into that a little bit. That guy right there, we're going to talk about him because they had their first controversy this weekend.
Oh boy.
Yeah, and I'll pause it when we get to that point because I want to show you something. This is like a little just montage of week 1, basically. All right, this was that was Skylar. We actually got a chance to talk with him a little. So this is the endurance game. Look at this.
5 seconds left. Will we see 50?
Just total burnout, dude. And the physical specimen to do that is just ridiculous. They get super engaged with the fans. These guys come off the stage, come out and talk to all the. Most of the fans at a cheer competition for the Pro Cheer League are cheerleaders that are there to compete as well.
Yeah.
So they're engaged. They're in the fans. They're throwing them stuff as prizes, and the kids absolutely love it. What are you doing right now, buddy?
Sorry. I had to check something real quick. I'm listening to you. I just had to do something real quick. I had to answer a text.
This is one of my favorite games, Flash Pyramid. So, all right. So, this is called Last Pass. Essentially, 3 tumblers run one way, another tumbler runs the other way. We're going to talk about this with Lark because a lot of comments out there about what took place and how it happened. But even though it's a pro league, they're in the infancy, right? It's the inaugural season. Yeah. So there's some limits because they have to protect the athletes, not just the ones that can do something, but also the ones that want to attempt something in order to take it to the next step, right? So this next pass you're going to see is his name's D. He goes by Tumbling D on social media. He's with Atlanta Air. And this is what they call the God Quad.
The God Quad?
Just watch this, dude. Bro, is that not insane, dude? This dude spins not twice, not 3 times.
I'm sorry, what?
4 times, dude.
Could you slow that down on YouTube for me?
Yeah, let me
Go to your settings.
Yeah,
You're gonna slow it down there.
So now, and we're gonna talk about this because, like I said, this was the controversy aspect, and we talked about, is controversy necessary in order for a sport to succeed? And this changed the game. So Miami Metal is the favorite team.
Yeah.
Imagine like the Miami Heat with the big 3, the first big super team, right?
Yeah.
That's the Miami Metal.
Okay.
They have the Gabby Butler, who is the Michael Jordan of cheerleading as far as fans go, right? Like everybody knows who she is. She is the face of the league in a sense.
Okay.
And then they've got 3 or 4 other people that are just amazing. They've got this dude Colin, and then what was the gentleman's name that was doing the? My daughter would know. What was it? The guy's name that did the lift over the head? No, don't know. But they're stacked. They've got all the best athletes.
Mm-hmm.
So this last pass was between the 2 of them. Miami and Atlanta, and Miami went first. Miami's got Skylar Graves on the team.
Yeah.
So
we're familiar with him.
Yeah. So we saw his last pass. What are you doing?
I'm sorry.
There is nothing you should be looking up for 5 minutes, dude.
Jeez.
This is what's wrong. This is what's wrong with people today, folks. So anyhow, this is between Miami and Atlanta on this game, the last pass.
What I'm doing will help build the conversation later.
Miami is the favorite. Skylar's incredible. What he did in week 1 was nonstop. He even had a great pass. But this, I think everybody here expected them to win off of this move. 1, 2, 3.
4.5. That's
Dude.
crazy.
So he pulls that move, and I'll let this play out the rest of the way. But he pulls this move, and he doesn't win. In fact, they announce that he's disqualified, and the place is in shock. They don't understand what's going on.
How?
They start chanting ATL. This was the move where imagine, like I said, the Miami Heat or the Miami Metal, the Miami Heat. This is where all of a sudden all the fans were who are Miami Metal fans are wait a minute, let's root for the underdog because they're winning too much or too easily. It was an incredible change in the game. But overall, so exciting. It was just so much fun to watch. And Miami did end up winning it overall either way. But that being said, we are going to now bring in Lark. Hopefully he is ready to go. Lark, how you doing, man? Can you hear us okay?
I'm hearing you guys great.
Awesome. A little bit of controversy over the weekend, as we talked about leading into you coming on with the incident, but let's clear that up right away. You and I spoke. They reached out to you guys prior to, asked for kind of the okay to go through this, if I'm not correct, and then you guys had said no at that point. It was an illegal move, and that they knew they would be disqualified if they pulled it. Anything that you've got to add to that aspect of it?
So I'll just say that they had reached out to us, so all the teams reach out to us every week to kind of clear their skills to make sure that there's all the legalities are met, right? Because we have different skills with spotters have to be in certain places to protect kids or to adults, whatever. So that part was done, and they did send that in. Sorry, this echo is really messing with me.
I apologize.
It's all good. I'm going to take them off while I talk, and then okay. So yeah, so everyone sent everything in, and they all got kind of their rulings on things. And there is a rule book, and Atlanta Air did have it, and the coaching staff did know that the skill wasn't legal, and unfortunately, the athlete didn't. He didn't know, and I kind of equated it when I was talking after the show to some people. I was like, "Yeah, it's like when Donovan McNabb went to overtime in the NFL and said, 'Oh, we'll get him in the second half of overtime.'" And that's when he learned that there was no second half in overtime, because sometimes amazingly elite athletes don't know every nook and cranny of, kind of what's going on, and I felt awful for D because, I mean, first of all, that was an amazing pass. He's an incredible athlete, and he landed it like, I mean, I don't know if he did it 20 more times if he could do it any more perfect than he did it. It's just unfortunate that it's in our rules, it says you can't twist more than 3 times. And to talk about Skylar's pass from 2 weeks ago, people are asking, "Oh, is he gonna spin in the first flip? Can he spin in the second flip?" The rules this year for our league say that, it's either 2 flips and no spins, or it is 3 spins and 1 flip. So that's where our kind of our limits sit. Like, for a lot of cheer people, like, we look like the land of the lawless because we've taken and we've expanded the rules beyond what anyone has seen in the last, 20, 30 years. But we do have rules, and it was just unfortunate. I think D thought it was legal and it wasn't. And, when you do something even accidentally illegal, if you can gain a competitive advantage from it, it's not fair to your competitors. So unfortunately, the disqualification was really the only thing, the only action we could take in that scenario. And to your point, again, they were matched up against Miami Metal. So, there was a thought about the, like, what it does to the league, and like, "Oh, could that we send them to the losers?" If that sent them to the losers bracket, then what would have happened? Or a lot of options, but that wasn't how it went down.
Well, I think too. I mean, obviously, there's going to be things that get challenged. There's going to be things that don't necessarily have the eye pass the eyeball test because you guys are a fresh league, right? I mean, we're 2 matches into the inaugural season. We're looking at something you guys put together for a year. We just talked, about the NBA and the talent in the NBA outgrowing the league. Like, now everybody could dunk. Now everybody could shoot threes 10 feet from behind the arc. They're not changing the rules anytime soon. But that's probably something you guys are taking into consideration because, I mean, every year you guys are going to look at, what athletes are able to do and most likely look to adapt in some of those scenarios. And like you said, you're already allowing them to start pushing the limits on some of the things that they've been able to do through competitive cheer up until that point, right?
Oh, yeah, like double back basket tosses. When that first came up in our first one of our early meetings, everyone was laughing like, "Absolutely not. We're not gonna let people flip 2 times in a basket toss. That's crazy." But then the more we went into the research to people who had done it 20 years ago, they were like, "Actually, that basket's easier than this one, and this one." And so when you start talking to the people that have done it, and they tell you where they kind of feel like the risk of injury is, it kind of made it easier for us to choose, what skills we thought should be allowed and what should.
Yeah, that makes complete sense. So after week 2, and let's talk a little bit about the league and how it got developed, I guess initially. And I'll just repeat some of the things that you guys told me. This was actually an idea that you guys created or started 7 years ago. Were you a part of that original thought process 7 years back?
I was part of one of 2 conversations, yeah. There were 2 conversations going on about thinking we should have a professional league eventually that were parallel. They weren't working together. I was in my vertical, and obviously the top of the company was in theirs. We
Right.
were not in the same vertical. Yeah, so we had separate conversations going on, and then when people found out that the top wanted it, they were like, "Oh, well, I remember Lark's been talking about it," so I got to be a part of it.
Well, I mean, that's awesome. And then really the last year with varsity's backing is when this became a reality because when you talk professional, you're talking somebody's got to get paid. I mean, especially these athletes, they're going to devote all of this time. Now, fortunately, we live in a day and age where the the time and the skills and the things that these athletes are developing and doing on TikTok, on YouTube, and all of that is allowing them an opportunity to earn money. But now you're asking them to do it, on a professional level. So the ability to pay athletes is part of that. The ability to, just really build up an entire league and all the things that are required of it. Um, how's that partnership with Varsity been, and where's the future of that go? Because you guys also brought on Ion now too.
Yeah, so Ion's our broadcast partner. Varsity is producing the whole thing. They're funding this. They're powering this. We couldn't do it without Varsity. I'm still a full-time Varsity employee, and some of us still are with the PCL. It's great. We literally couldn't do it without them,
Yeah.
and it's It's amazing. When
So
we say we need X, Y, and Z, they don't say, "Oh, how much is it gonna cost?" They say, "If we need it, let's do it."
yeah, and to have that backing is awesome because ultimately the idea is that this league is successful. It's not a one and done. Because I'm sure you guys have already seen the involvement from the younger kids. Like there's actually something to attain to after scholastic cheerleading or competition cheer now.
Yeah, we were hoping to help give kids something to look up to. And then one of the things that we've done, details is we have specialists in our league. So your daughter's an all-star cheerleader, so she kinda has to be the same level at stunting as she is at tumbling, in order to be on a team, but one of the things, like, no one cares to see Colin tumble. They care to see him hold a girl over his head and pop her back and forth or throw her as high as they can. They don't care if he flips or not. Whereas, like, in the all-star world and in the scholastic cheerleading world, like, all the score sheets and everything are based on ratios and proportions and, all those things, and we wanted to make sure that we had a home for the tumbler, the ex-gymnast that joins cheerleading late that may not know anything about stunting, or, the person who was an amazing stunter, but, they started tumbling, really late and they were afraid of it, so they never got good at it or whatever. Like, so we wanted to make sure that we had a home for every type of amazing cheerleader, and we really feel like we've struck that balance and created something fun, for every kid can see someone on that pro cheer league stage that represents them, and that, I think, is probably the coolest part when we're walking around afterwards. Even I mean, I took 3 pictures after the after the show, so there's somebody out there that was, like, looking up to referees, right? Like, it's crazy, but it's everyone up on that stage has someone that's looking up to them, and that's what keeps the dream alive for these kids, because I can't tell you, I was a high school cheerleader and a college cheerleader, and the number of people that are like, "But you can't go pro in cheerleading." You can now.
Yeah,
And
right.
that's one of the coolest feelings about the whole thing.
Yeah, I agree. And you're right when and here you just look at any sports, right? Like every sport on the professional level has its specialists, whether it's baseball with closers and DHs, infielders versus outfielders, base stealers versus home run hitters, and then you go to the NFL, you got special teams, kickers, punters. So every league's got its specialist. I think that is kind of awesome that you incorporate that in that league because you're right. Not everybody is a Gabby Butler. Not everybody is a D. Not everybody is on that level of the Maddie Browns and that where they have a home in that team. Now you have guys that are former power lifters, that have a spot on the team. You've got amazing tumblers and gymnasts. You've got people that have been in the professional or the competitive league, I should say, for a long period of time. So it's exciting to be able to find spots for all those teams or for all those players, I should say, and somebody they can look up to.
Yeah, it's really exciting.
So let's talk a little bit about because you were a big part in developing the games. What was the
Yeah.
process thought of like, okay, first of all, we need a fan base, right? Like it's great to have cheerleaders watch us because they cheer and they're there and they might get excited about it. But we need to fill the stands, and in order to be successful, we need more money. We need people buying our merch. We need people showing up. We need people driving to come see us, et cetera, watch us on TV. So you had to get a different audience involved than the standard cheerleader. So I'm assuming the typical scorecard that bases a routine, which I could tell you I have no idea what any of it means, what what drivers are, what this, that. As I learn it, I get more frustrated by it and less understanding of it. So how did you create these games that could get a guy like me to be like, oh, I understand what's happening here?
So we started with, like, core principles, right? Like, we wanted to make sure that it was easy for the non-cheer person to watch and kinda see what's going on. Even if you didn't understand it, like, each and every rule, right? Like, the same when we turn on curling, we don't know if that little finger touches illegal or not because that's, like, deep down in the rule books. But we understand the middle is better than the outside. Like, we understand that. So, curling is something we can watch and be fun. So, like, when we said, "Alright, what are some things we can do in cheerleading that the regular person can just watch and understand?" Alright, we can throw each other as high as we can. That's pretty cool. They'll watch that. Alright, we can flip as high as we can. They'll understand that. We can hold a person in the air as long as we can. They'll understand that. And so we kinda just kept building off some of those things. And then one night, I went into the bag and came up with Flash Pyramid.
That's my
And,
favorite one.
that was one that was a hard sell. I was like, "I have this crazy idea. I wanna see people do pyramids at warp speed on the floor at the same time," and they were like, "What?" So, they made me fly to a cheerleading camp and test it, and see how that worked, we filmed it, and I brought the test back, and people were like, "You were right. It's a great game." And then Bill Seeley actually picked up on one little detail that was a very important detail, and he added that in at one of our rehearsals. It was as late as a month before Indy. We were doing like a mock meet with the production crew, and Seeley added, and he said, "Oh, you know what? I think you need to add another line for the building line, because at first we had the holding line, and then you just built on the other side of the holding line. So it was everyone was taking one step and chucking them in the air. You think the build times are fast at 5 seconds? When they didn't have to run before, it was 1 second. I mean, it was crazy to watch.
That's awesome.
So we put out that other line to make them have to run to the spot, and that's what makes it. I think that's actually what makes it even more fun now. So it was a great job by Bill.
So let me ask you, we'll talk about the flash pyramid for a minute, because for those who don't know, flash pyramid, you guys flash a pyramid design on the wall. The team is there, which they could have up to 20 players on the actually 20 athletes on the stage at once, I think is the rule, right? Is the most
So
they
that's
can
actually
have.
a rule only for the first quarter. But
Oh, is it?
yeah,
Okay.
that's fine.
But they have X amount of athletes that are up there, and then they get the flashcards the week in advance, so they know, or so far in advance, like they know what the type of pyramids are, so that they can kind of plan who's going to do what, etc. And then they're all standing on the stage. You guys flash one up, and they have to remember who's who does what on that particular pyramid, and they have to do it. And this week, I think they were faster than the last week.
They were by about 0.03 seconds.
Okay, so not that much faster. I mean, but within 5 seconds, they're looking at something and everybody's out there. Like, I mean, it reminds me of like basic training in the military, like where they're like, you got 30 seconds to get dressed and get outside, except everybody's a total Charlie Foxtrot. But these guys came out and they're like lined up, ready to go and up there in a matter of seconds. But that game is definitely one of the most entertaining, and it's simple, right? It's scored by who does it the fastest.
Yep. Whoever gets up first. It's exciting to watch. That's one of the core principles. We found that in cheerleading, like all-star cheerleading, you don't know who's won till you get to the award ceremony, obviously. Like, you
Mhm.
can watch every team and you're kinda like, I don't know."
Right.
If you're a real cheer person, you can kinda score it and you can kinda know who's gonna win. But if you're just an average parent, average fan, you're watching it and going, "All these level 3 teams do the same level 3 skills. How do I pick who wins?" And so one of the principles was we needed to make sure that, like, when you watched us, you could kinda feel like you knew who won the head-to-head matchups, obviously. But the other piece is that it had to be fun. And cheerleading, when you're waiting for judges, is stressful,
Yeah.
but it's not fun while you're waiting for the judges. And then, like, when the judges drop the scores, it's fun for one team, and then the rest of the teams are typically disappointed.
Sure.
So one of the things that's great about the pro cheerleague, we've created a whole lot of opportunities to win, right? So, like, we created all these different games to win mini points and whatever like that, which is the same as your favorite NBA player hitting 2 or 3 threes in a row. Those moments are great for him. He went 3 for 3 in the 3rd quarter. We didn't have that in cheerleading. We just had we won or we lost.
Right.
And so one of the things that we wanted to create was highlight moments. And then we went as molecular as saying, we want all of our games to be short enough that the entire thing could be posted on TikTok. So that anyone who misses the match could still feel like they got to see almost all the highlights on social, but still feel like they may have missed something. Something back to your first hour when you were talking about, like, the reason the Olympics aren't really being watched anymore. One of the things I was thinking is because people don't like to watch recorded sports. And you all are at jobs, so we're not watching 2 o'clock curling.
Right.
But in the evening, if we actually cared, we've already looked up the results. So that's why I feel like people aren't watching. And I think it's the same thing in most sports. And so even though people can watch our highlights on social, they want to see it live.
Sure.
And they either want to see it live on a screen or they want to see it live in person. And so that's one of the things that we're hoping we're creating, is that anticipation of wanting to feel the moment, not just see it on a phone.
Yeah, that's a great point. Because we did like to talk about the Olympics a little bit, and I think that's a good point. The other point you made too is you said the games are short enough where you can watch them on TikTok. You know, it's funny. My daughters can watch. She picked 2 movies to watch on the plane ride the other day, and she's like, "Well, sometimes I get bored in the first 5 minutes and I don't want to watch it anymore." I'm like, "Man, are we making movies now where they have to get your attention in the first 5 minutes, like they're playing like
Try like 30 seconds, dude.
Yeah.
But it's definitely, changes the of what you need to be able to do in order to keep people entertained and stuff like that, and to really find out what happened if they missed a match or not. So let me ask you this: have you guys gotten numbers back from the TV ratings this week versus week one?
Not yet.
Not yet.
I believe the ratings come out tomorrow.
Okay, that's got to be
I don't
exciting
know.
because
Or maybe they only come out to me tomorrow.
because if I'm not mistaken, week one you guys had more viewers on Ion than any other sports program that was on TV at all that night. Is that correct?
Yeah, that's crazy.
It
I
is
still get
crazy.
weird thinking about that
Well,
because there was a lot of college basketball on.
yeah, I think that just goes to show, that there's a lot of people that are out. I mean, this weekend and this tournament, and Ed, just to give you an idea, there was just about 1,500 competitive cheer teams there in Atlanta. So you think on an average, you've got between, I think, 12 and 30 kids per team. Most of them aren't on multiple teams either. So you think about how many kids are there that weekend. Even if you take the small amount, you're talking, quite a few thousand people that are in the stands or available are cheering. So if you take that number all over the country, the amount of people that are in competitive cheer that are going to find this interesting, they might have a fan base as large as some of the major sports that are out there. Now they have an avenue to test that, to take a look at that and see it live on TV.
That just sounds like an absolute logistical nightmare from any perspective of both feeding, flights, hotels. I mean, that sounds like all hell. It could be broken loose at any time.
Luckily, I was in the military, so I'm really good at hurrying up and waiting. But so let's talk a little bit about the league and the developing it in general. A couple of things. And how are you doing on time? I know it's about 7:15. You okay? Great. One, we talked about it earlier. I've never met Gabby, but I know that every time I've had a chance to talk to all the other athletes, she brings so much attention to the league. And in terms of cheerleading, she's 28 years old, not what you would consider your typical, prime cheerleader's age, I guess you would look at it. I mean, shoot, now gymnastics retired in the Olympics at like 19 or 23 or something. So for her to, one, still love doing it as much, but two, she's really become the face of the league. What was it like getting her involved? How easy was it for her to get involved? Was that at all part of the initial spark to this league? Like, hey, we really need to get some people that are going to draw attention to the league. How did that partnership come together, and her being part of that, and then really finding all the other talent that's on the field?
So first of all, I have to say, Gabby Butler has earned every single thing that she's gotten. She is an amazing human being. She's an amazing athlete. I've known her since she was close to 15 years old, and I remember watching her compete in All Stars, and she was cheer famous back then also. And my son's babysitter was her back spot for a year. So I got to know of her, and then at Worlds the one year, she actually ended up sitting down right next to me for a couple hours. Which, if you've seen how people gravitate towards Gabby, you can understand the number of people that were coughing on me for the next couple of hours while she was sitting next to me. Um, but she made sure that, like, she wouldn't take photos with people while someone was performing. She was always so good about telling everyone, and this was at 15 years old. She was always so good about telling you, "Hey, everyone squat down, make sure everyone can see the teams that are performing, and in between the teams, I'll take photos." I mean, I can't say enough great things about the human being that she is. That being said, when we created the Pro Cheer League, we took the Field of Dreams approach. If you build it, we hope they'll come, because we knew there were a whole lot of really good cheerleaders in this industry that might be willing to get paid to do what they love, but we had to create something that was fun for them, not just the format for the games, but the format for pay, treating them like professional athletes, making sure that it didn't feel like they were just on another open team and slapping the Pro Cheer League, on the division. Like, it actually had to feel like something. And we've been fortunate that we've been able to create it. And then, you get a couple of Gabby Butlers, you get an Angel Rice, you get a Corey Little, you get a Liam Patulski, you get Skylar, you get these people I'm sure I'm forgetting people that all have in the
Of
5
course.
million followers, and I apologize if any of you are watching and I've forgotten you. But you get these people that have this huge following because of their athleticism, and you create a platform for them to kind of grow it. I mean, I'm hoping most of them have gained, not that they needed to gain followers and they didn't need to gain clout, but pretty sure they all have, because now it's on a different level. So we've been so thankful to have those athletes be a part of this, and and really show out and just be amazing ambassadors of our sport, for the current athletes. I mean, you have to drag them out of the signings. You're like, "All right, guys, really? You really, really need to be backstage right now. Your team is warming up. I really need you to stop signing autographs for a minute and go back." They're all just so great, and all of them have told me like, "Oh, I'm just doing this for the kids, man. It's fun for me, but I'm just doing it so these kids have something more to look up to than I did." And all of them just have the right attitude. I mean, they've been so amazing. All of them are doing this for reasons bigger than themselves. And myself and all the other people at the PCL just couldn't be more grateful because obviously without the athletes, we have nothing. So these athletes have just been amazing.
Yeah, and when it originally came to starting to find these athletes out, how did you, from the conversation with you and the commissioner was originally you had 800 applicants for this league. How did you go about like letting people even know? Because I mean, once again, as an outsider, I didn't even know this was existing or formulating a year ago. But somehow you had to get out there and go, all right, we need athletes. We got to have tryouts. How did we pick the 4 cities that are going to start with the initial 4 teams? And you know, how do we pick these coaches, or do we pick these coaches? What were some of the strategies around all that aspect, and what were some of the logistics of that?
So we worked with some partners that helped us make some of the really tough decisions, some consultants that have helped with other pro leagues, and they really kind of helped us pick the cities and pick some of those things. For the athletes, though, it was, we kind of just put out on all of our social medias and make sure we got the word out that, tryouts are coming. This is going to be the tryout. The Pro Cheer League is coming. First you have to announce a league, then you have to put a baseline of education out there that, okay, we're going to have a league. And then we say, okay, there's open tryouts for this league. Sign up online and, whatever. Some people send us some highlight reels, and we just had to start filtering through them, just like standard all-star cheerleading tryout or a high school cheerleading tryout. You start with 800 and you whittle it down to the 100, the around 100 athletes that we have on now. But I mean, it's not easy. But once we got the word out, it did spread pretty good once the right people found out, and that was important for year one in getting that growth.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, got a couple of questions here from my daughter who's in here as well. Um,
It was the third quarter I used her corn.
Yes, she did get her coin used to get her coin flipped. That was awesome of you, by the
Nice.
way. We really appreciate that. The question she had was though was more around like obviously Navarro played was a big part of the social media, I guess, following when there's stories on Netflix and things like that. This is before I knew anything about it, but how much did it have any effect in saying like, hey, look how many people are willing to watch this on Netflix? This can really help the league. This league could really be something big. Did that play any effect knowing that was out there? Or?
I can't I guess I can't say it had 0 effect. I mean, it did help prove social proof, you know what I mean? Like, that people were interested.
Right.
So and that people really wanted to see more of the backside of cheerleading, not just the 2.5 minutes on the floor. They wanted to see the training, they wanted to see the grit, they wanted to see the sweat, they wanted to see the fails, they wanted to see you go through the struggles and build something. And that was nice that general population wanted to watch that show and feel engaged in it. It was kinda weird the first time I had one of my neighbors say, "Hey, do you know Gabby Butler?" And I was like, "I do, but why do you?"
um, so speaking of, and this goes to this weekend. I don't know if you saw. There's a cheerleader out of a team. I can't remember if it's Royalties or something. Her name. What is Spirit of Texas? I guess her name is Brooklyn something or other. But did you Brooklyn Lily? Did you? I'm sorry, I'm getting all this real time.
I hear her. Yeah, we're good.
But she, I guess there was a point where she was essentially swarmed at in the bathrooms in the Coliseum there in between rounds. Did you? I wouldn't. I guess is this what social media has kind of done with some of these high school kids, and how is that looked at? And I don't know how much you get to see this or play a part of it, but with security at these events, because these girls at such a young age become so famous on social media and things like that, which is obviously great if they eventually decide to, join the league. But leading up to it, because your league is at this same area, because you have plenty of girls that are athletes in the league that are walking around there and going to warm-ups and traveling through. Luckily, I mean, I was there on Friday where most of them were going back and forth and there was nobody there and even knew that they were, taking place. But during how is it like? What does that look like with security? How much is that a concern with you guys? What do you guys have to kind of do to prepare for those different things?
So, well, I don't really do much with the weekend part of the events.
Hmm.
So I don't know much about the Saturday and Sunday.
Gotcha.
I'm just there with PCL, and I can tell you that for PCL, we do have enough security to make sure that Gabby's not going to get mobbed and things like that. We're very conscious of knowing that like we have an emerging sport, and you can't just if this was baseball, you can't just have Mike Trout available for the fans to just like collapse on, right? So like we're aware of it. We know we're going to have to be ready for it in the PCL. Fortunately, we have some buddy systems in place where like we make sure that if someone's going, then other people are going with them, and we can kind of build in some of those protections in the PCL. As far as the youth ages, I'll be honest, I stopped following the cheerlebrities, a long time ago. It just felt weird as a 40-plus-year-old man, getting involved in caring about the 16 and 17-year-old kids at other gyms. I respect them all, they're amazing athletes, including the one we were just discussing, she's amazing. But I stopped I don't know. I guess I wouldn't have known that story if I hadn't tripped over it on social media, if that
Right.
makes sense. Because I'm not in any of the meetings that would have been talked about, like, if it was discussed, and I'm sure it was. If there was an issue, I'm sure it was discussed. But I'm not in those meetings, so I don't know what they're doing. I do know that we care a lot about everyone's safety at these events, but I can't speak on what we do for cheerlebrities, if you will.
Sure.
But it does happen because they get very, very, very popular.
Yeah, absolutely. Which is once again, it's great for the league in the future as these these athletes start to move up. Like I said, I mentioned earlier some of these level 6 teams that compete. Like it's amazing the fans that they have from all over the world when they're 2,000 miles away in a gym just doing their thing on a day-to-day basis. Show up to these things and to have them have 6, 7. I mean, they have more people there watching than the PCO because of seats that are available. They're sitting on the floors in the concession stands watching the big screens, and it's definitely an incredible event. And it's got to be inspiring to you guys knowing that there's a fan base out there that is ready and just waiting for this league to take off.
Oh, yeah, it's really cool because everyone's really thirsty for more. They wanna see what's next, and I think that was part of the going back to the D thing. They wanted to see more than what Skylar did, and they wanted to see more than what they saw the week before, and they did. They just but so I get that. That's where the thirst comes from. They
Sure.
wanna see the things they've never seen before.
So, let me ask you this too, and I don't know if obviously I'm not privy to the conversations you get to have and the feedback that you guys are getting, but did this week, did we witness the Miami medal almost become too good? And what does that look like for parity in the league looking forward? Because I felt like there was, and I think the D incident did flip the switch a little bit in the audience. But I'm interested to see what the feedback you guys are getting now, or if you're hearing anything on the parity in these leagues, because obviously if one team becomes just super good, you're going to continue to just build with great athletes that want to go compete with the team that's super good. And how you guys have talked about that.
Well, all leagues have a Cleveland Browns, and all leagues have a
Wow.
New England Patriots. I'm not saying we have a Cleveland Brown. I'm just saying that there's always a spectrum in the sport, and every sport has them, right? So right now we have a spectrum, but I will say this: Atlanta and Golden State are third and fourth in the current standings right now. But man, did they look good this weekend!
Yeah.
They came up a half a second short in Flash Pyramid. They came up a couple inches short in this game. You know, co-ed endurance. It was a bad draw for Dallas Drive having to go against Kyle, and they go to the losers bracket in that corner. Like it gets tough, like the way the schedule can roll out. But like this the same way Dallas has now beaten Metal twice head to head. If they would have happened in the beginning of quarters, it would have cost Metal 2 points instead of only 1 point, right? So
Sure.
some of this is like how the schedule lays out. And so we'll see over time. But like, we all saw the Patriots go 18-0 and then lose to the Giants in the Super Bowl,
Yeah,
right? Like so
absolutely.
there's all kinds of things in sports, and with it only being our second week, I'm not ready to crown them. They are damn good though.
They are really, but it's what, it's entertaining to watch. And like I said, it was awesome. Actually, I enjoyed seeing the fans kind of switch to the underdog in Atlanta there, when it being a hometown, obviously. But just people start to go like, hey, you know what? what's going on here? These guys might be too good because as much as people loved the Patriots, there is a line of people that love to hate the Patriots too, and it just made for great games and great competition. And the more people that are talking about it, it's only better for the league in the long run as far as their growth goes.
Yeah, and the way our scoring works in the league, it's hard to like run away with it because in Nashville everything counts double. So teams can make comebacks. So I'm not that worried.
So let's talk about that real quick as far as the scoring system goes, because we're talking about matches and then we're talking about an overall champion in Indiana, and then an overall champion here in Atlanta most recently. So people could look at it as Miami's 2-0, but that's not necessarily how the champion is going to be crowned. It's more based off of a NASCAR style where they're gaining points throughout all these competitions. That's going towards a national champion. Like, is that how I understand it? Towards the final championship?
Yeah, think of it like the PGA Tour FedEx Cup.
Mm-hmm.
You can get points at each match. They carry over, and they take you to the championship. So each week we take the match scores, their total points, and we carry it into the standings. So each match stands on its own, but the season-long standings are the cumulative total of the matches.
Gotcha.
Which is still easier to understand than the way Ed explained baseball.
Wow, I feel, Lark, I appreciate you breaking all this down for me. And let me ask you this from somebody who doesn't have a daughter in cheer, and somebody who's just kind of now even learning about this as I go, and I'm doing this with Will and having this conversation with you. I mean, where should I start? Where should someone like myself, who can appreciate this as as an athlete, and I would call myself that 10 years prior now at least. But where should I start? How should I be looking into this? Obviously following on social media is one thing, but where should I genuinely, like, if I had a starting place, where should I start?
You should come to a match.
Okay. All right.
You need to feel it.
They'll be in Nashville.
The atmosphere is very different.
I guess I have to. I have some off-topic random questions for you at the end of the interview that I think you'll either really appreciate or really not like.
Well, I've got a couple more here from some of the others. One, are athletes allowed to compete in multiple events? So, for instance, the basket talks along with co-ed endurance. There's no rules to how the teams portray the rosters or anything like that.
No, in week 1, Autumn Schless for Atlanta competed in, I want to say, co-ed endurance and all-girl endurance.
Okay.
I say she in those.
And then what led you guys with it? So first of all, kudos on the uniforms. They're actually less revealing than the competitive Scholastic uniforms, which I think is classy for a pro league. So kudos to that. How did you guys come up with the idea of putting numbers on them though? Was that kind of like
that was Bill Seeley's idea.
Yeah.
And none of us liked it. I'm not afraid to admit it. There were so many of us that were like, Bill, we can't do this. We can't do this. We can't do this. Then as soon as I saw the uniforms, I was like, damn, when he's right, he's right. It's so great because it makes the opportunity for a sportscast.
Yeah.
Because now Richard and Maddie can recognize exactly what athlete is by the number on their jersey, say it and do it. And we had never really thought of that in cheerleading.
Yeah, and I think
when he first kept holding on to, it's got to have it, it's got to have it, it's got to have it. And we're like, okay, it's got to have numbers. We'll see. Like, I can't tell you the number of times there were side conversations like, there's no way we're going to end up with numbers. And now I love them. I absolutely love them.
I mean, I do too, and I think it opens up the door. I mean, like right now, the merchandise is limited to a couple of things: hoodies, t-shirts, etc. And they've got some generic jerseys, baseball jerseys, and stuff I saw in the varsity store. But I mean, I think it's another opportunity for these athletes to market themselves in the future, have a way of gaining a little bit of money, and then who knows where it leads? Like, do numbers eventually start to get retired? Is there a cheerleading Hall of Fame? I don't know. That might already exist.
David, you're getting into the questions that I want to ask him. I have so many questions right now. When Will's done talking, I have so many questions for you.
Well, I'll let you talk next. It's just exciting when there's a new league because new leagues don't open every day.
I know.
Especially in a sport where you're not involved in, and it's more exciting than curling.
And we're not trying to almost every league that comes out now is trying to take a twist on something else, like Savannah Bananas. Like, that's a real league now, but it's really like a twist off of baseball.
Right.
It's like the Harlem Globetrotter version of baseball.
Yes, but there's no Washington Generals.
Yes, true.
But yes, so like we're seeing like leagues like that pop up, and like with cheerleading, like we're dropping the first league and we're Savannah Banana, and that's not a verb, but yeah, we're Savannah Banana-ing cheerleading because we're making sure that it's so much fun, and we're building it at the same time as we're building the league. So it's like we're Savannah Bananing a sport as we're building it, which would be, I guess, like the equivalent of like when they first built Major League Baseball if they'd had guys on stilts.
Fair enough.
All right, Ed. I don't want to take all your thunder, so let's hear some of the goodies.
So let me ask you this: if a Tanya Harding situation came up, how would that be handled? Follow up to that: are you ever going to turn the jerseys that they're wearing or the attire that these guys are wearing into like what Major League Soccer is overseas? If so, how much ad space can Guys Night Podcast buy onto that first and foremost? Second off, if there's a card to come out and Panini is doing it, can we get the exclusive rights to be on there as well? Follow up from everything that you're telling me, this sounds like almost like TLC is going to buy the rights to gym moms, like the dance moms. Yeah, it sounds like a TV show in the making here.
All right. Do you have a good question now?
I pray that we don't ever go down that route. I will say I do hope we can have trading cards.
That would be awesome.
Can you imagine like trading cards with a piece of Gabby Butler's uniform?
Yeah,
that'd be sick.
Like, oh, you have a 1 of 1.
Yeah.
You have the M from Gabby Butler's jersey.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I could see that. I could totally see that.
So do you guys have conversations with the athletes? Are they getting excited now? Week 2, are you getting some feedback from them? Like, wow, this is better than I expected, or I have all these ideas. Like, is that something that you guys entertain at all? Or are you guys kind of keeping the athlete league separate at the time being?
No, we want to hear from the athletes.
Yeah.
They're the ones doing it.
Yeah.
They're the ones who can tell us what's fun. I'm 40. I don't do that stuff anymore. I don't know what they can do anymore. Like when I was 40, I'm sorry, when I was in college, the most we could really do was like toss a girl, she could spin once, and we could catch her with 2 hands. Now they are with 1 hand, tossing a girl that's doing a backflip and the twist, and catching her with 1 hand over their head. Like that's just stupid.
It's insane.
Like I don't know who thought of some of that stuff. So like we have to talk to our athletes. Our athletes have to feel like they can come to us with ideas. This has to feel like a team thing. We can't build this without them, and they can't build it without us. So we got to do this together.
Yeah, and for those listening, I apologize. I understand there's an echo coming through. We're going to get that fixed for the next interview, but I will have this interview set up separately. If you guys subscribe to the channel, I'll make sure that I post this separately, the full interview in entirety, so that you guys can hear everything that we've talked about in clear sound. So once again, apologize. If you've got questions for Lark, who is one of the creators of the Pro Cheer League, please put them down in the comments. As of now, I'm fielding them from high schoolers that heard that we were doing this, that are friends with my daughters that are interested. So would love some new questions from the people that are out there. But what are some immediate plans for the future for the league? What's because you've got 3 weeks before Nashville?
We have 1 week before Houston.
Oh, I'm sorry. That's right. I didn't even think about Houston.
We're not this Friday, but the following Friday we're in Houston. 2 weeks later we're in Los Angeles, and then 2 weeks after that we're in Nashville.
Oh wow, is that the Los Angeles? I didn't even realize Los Angeles was on the show as well. That's going to be awesome. You guys got to be really excited about that.
I am excited about that one. I'm not excited about the flight. I live in Pennsylvania. I'm excited about getting there and having fun.
What's some of the feedback after week 2 though? Anything where you guys saw some things that you want to work on, some things that are going to be changed? Is D's going to be reviewed? Is that going to be something that may or may be allowed or not in the immediate future?
We had our league-wide meeting today.
Okay.
Which is the coaches, the managers, and then our front office.
Okay.
And we talked, and we're not making that skill legal this year.
Gotcha.
We don't. That would be a knee-jerk reaction, and that's below the league that we're trying to build.
Gotcha.
I think that's the best way to say it, and that's not a disrespectful statement to what D can do. But we have a lot of athletes that wanted to push these boundaries, and in year 1 we said we don't want to push those boundaries in year 1. We can talk about them for year 2. So I fully expect to have some new skills legal in year 2 that weren't allowed in year 1. Stay tuned. Yeah, and I hope we get to see do that quad again, and this time win something with it. Absolutely, but probably not in the next 3 matches unless Commissioner Newby calls me and changes that rule. We're gonna probably wait until year 2 before we revisit that one.
Gotcha. Any other feedback, any other things that you're allowed to share out of today's meetings that can get out there and share with people that are listening?
Can't tell too much, but we have started writing some rules for some new games and tossing some new games around.
Oh, I like
So
that. No pun
that
intended.
process began today.
No pun intended.
Tossing some new games around, no pun intended. Right. Yeah, we see what you did there.
Well, hey, I'm glad that you got a chance to join us and share a little bit. With you being so close, we'll definitely have to have you maybe live if you guys got some time, or if your kids got some sporting events here in the eastern side of Ohio. Where at PA are you at?
Harrisburg, right in the
Oh
middle.
gosh, you're way on the other side. 7-hour drive from Medina. I made that one a couple of times to the Mannheim auctions back in the day.
Yeah, my son's a ECNL soccer player,
Awesome.
so we're up and down the East Coast. I was in Vegas 3 weeks ago.
How are you
tournament.
juggling work-life cheer balance right now? It's got to be stressful some days. How's the wife and the family handling it?
So the wife was there this weekend.
Oh, great.
That was great. She also works for the company. She actually handles stats for the Pro Cheer League.
Oh, wow. No
So
kidding.
that was nice. She doesn't have to go to all of them because she can do the stats from the computer.
Mm-hmm.
But she was there for Valentine's Day. She flew down. She met me. Son didn't have a soccer tournament this weekend. It's this coming weekend. But he does have tournaments the next 3 Pro Cheer League matches. So I fly home and try to catch what I can catch.
Oh, wow. Yeah, absolutely. That's got to be tough.
Yeah, me doing well in Indy and the PCL doing well in Indy, second biggest thing of the weekend. My son scored a goal in his college showcase on Saturday morning with his new team. So like that completely overshadowed my PCL success in my house.
You know what though? If dad's not out being outshone by son, he's doing something wrong, right? So congratulations to all his success and to yours as well, and to the PCLs. I'm excited to see where this league goes. We're hoping they have the opportunity to speak to some of the athletes. I guess my final, bringing this back to the Guys Night podcast, final aspect of this. You said you were a college cheerleader and competitive cheerleader in your heyday. How much impact do men now have in the competitive and now pro cheer environment? Because their roles have really changed over that period of time, and are got to be a key factor, I'd imagine.
The evolution of men in cheerleading hasn't changed that much. The spotlight has changed. The perception has changed. The athletes are the same.
Okay.
Um, if I look back to when I was a cheerleader in college and in high school, we had some freak athletes back then. I mean, there's a female, and I'm going to use a female as an example, but her name was Brooke Davis. She was in the late '90s, early 2000s, what Haley is today. I mean, she was the absolute best female co-ed partner stunner, bar none. It wasn't close. Your daughter's coach Earl
Mm-hmm.
was a freak of a partner stunner. He was an amazing cheerleader when he was cheering at University of Louisville. You've seen how big he is. Like
Yeah, he's
is
jacked.
he's huge. And, so the role hasn't changed, just the spotlight. The spotlight has changed with what we do and how we do, and male cheerleaders are now finally starting to kinda get their credit, more so now than they used to get it. And it's nice to see because when I was a cheerleader, we didn't get a whole hell of a lot of credit. I was I'll put it to you this way. I did 2 things in college. I was a kicker on the football team, and I was a cheerleader. And I can't tell you which one I caught more flack for, but you imagine how the amount of flack a kicker gets for, even owning shoulder pads and a helmet.
So
I used to catch quite a bit of flack for that and quite a bit for being a cheerleader, and it's changed, and I'm glad it's changed.
yeah, it's exciting to see, and the diversity as far as the stunts that they're able to compete too. I mean, the one that really gets me going during the events is when Miami did it, and I think Atlanta did it too, where they literally throw the flyers from one group to the next, and it's like a 10-foot throw, and I'm just like, that to me is the most exciting part of the night. I think I like that more than the high toss. But you've got to have some strength in there. You need these athletes to take part in it. And, I think there's always been a stigma from, the jocks, right? The football players and the wrestlers about male cheerleaders. And it goes back to the days of Bring It On and stuff
Such
like
a great movie.
Such a classic.
I wasn't going to say that because that's my only reference I have to knowing anything about cheerleading, but what a killer movie.
But it's changed now, and they've got just as many followers out there on social media because people like to see, the God Quad and the athletes of this endurance level being able to throw somebody or bounce somebody up off of one hand I mean, because these girls are still 100+ pounds to do that 55 times. Like just thinking about doing that with 100 or 50.
Ho. If I don't jump in and protect my girls, none of those girls are weighing 100 pounds.
100+.
No.
Oh, no?
Sub 100?
Sub 1. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
And I'm not saying Colin could do that with me.
Yeah.
And I'm post 2.
Yeah, right.
But the most of those girls, yeah, they're not 100+ pounds.
Oh my gosh, I would have never expected.
Not the ones that they're doing crazy stuff with.
Gotcha. I gotcha. I guess that's the benefit of being a flyer. So you mentioned you knew my daughter's coach, Earl. Did you cheer with him in college, or how did you guys know each other?
No, I'm a good bit older than Earl.
Okay.
We coached together at a gym years and years ago.
I gotcha. But he was a competitive cheerleader did you say Louisville?
University of Louisville, yes.
I would have never guessed that. Yeah, I mean, I can imagine being.
You'd have never guessed it in college? Yeah, I understand.
Well, I mean, you know what? It's funny because I guess competitive cheerleading in college, like you just don't think that much of it, and like you look at. I mean, Earl's a stacked dude, so you see him like. I mean, obviously he knows cheer, but like I feel like most cheer coaches, like the wife maybe knows, the husband just does the athletic training or vice versa. So hearing that he comes from that highest standard of college cheerleading is pretty cool. Are you starting to see a dynamic change in college cheerleading? Is there more stunting and stuff like that going? Because I know when you get to like the NFL and stuff like that, that's like dance. But like, are you starting to see more competition in the college ranks?
So I don't really track college cheerleading.
Okay.
I've been working on the PCL project for a couple of years. Before that, I worked on something called the Varsity Cheer League, which is nothing more than a points race for youth cheerleading. So every event your daughter goes to, her team gains points for going to that. I'm kind of like the math nerd at varsity. But I get handed the projects that can you make this make sense mathematically and make sure that it's fair for everyone? That's kind of like how I get handed things.
Awesome. So do you think we'll see any of the new games this season, maybe? Is that a chance? And did you guys get rid of the high jump?
Wow, that's the first person that's picked up on that. You may see high jump again.
I loved the high jump. I honestly, I think that first match, I think Dallas would have won that if he didn't go for such a high jump. All he had to do is tie or beat him by 1. I think he went like 3 inches higher. Was there a reason for that?
Yeah, because the rules in week 1 were a combined total of 2 tumbling passes.
Okay.
So it was a combined total of the 2 athletes. So he had to do 7-8 to win by 1. One of the rules we have in the PCL for that game is you may not aim for a tie. So you chose to go second because you wanted to see the numbers. You have to go for the win.
Gotcha.
So you have the advantage by getting to go for the win, but you have to go for the win.
So if somebody jumps 7, the other team jumps 7-4, and then the next guy jumps 7-4, you're sitting at 14-8. So that 7-foot team has to do 7'8" or 7'9" in order to.
Exactly.
Interesting. So did you guys take it out
in week 1?
Did you guys take it out this week, or because of that, did nobody want to play it?
No, it was just out this past week.
Okay. So that's another
we can
evolving
games. We can float games. We got a lot going on in year 1, Will.
Yeah, I can imagine.
If you look at the indie game, we were over time for our broadcast by a little bit. So there's just so much going on. And like we were hesitant at first about should this be debuting on live TV? But then we got the opportunity. We said, yes, it should be debuting on live TV. But it just amplifies all the things that we have to do and make sure that we do them correctly. So it's just, we can rotate things around. We can move things. It's still evolving.
Well, that's the next question. A couple of bumps in the road early on with music and stuff like that. That didn't necessarily happen in week 1, did it?
No, it didn't.
What I mean, obviously incidents happen, but live TV makes that stuff all kind of a little bit more difficult. I'm sure there'll be a little bit of a focus on that moving forward.
For sure.
Yeah, excellent.
We've already addressed it, and we feel we're in good shape for Houston.
Awesome. Well, hey, I appreciate you taking some time to join us here. Ed, do you have any more brilliant questions?
My questions are supposed to be just humorous at this point, since I have nothing really of education to add to this conversation. But no, Lark, thank you very much for your time, man. I really do appreciate it. Learning more about this. I'm kind of getting a little hyped. Now I really do want to come see some more of these events now.
Well, you're lucky. It's in Nashville, so you go to your line dancing right after.
This is true. The best of both worlds there.
What we really got to do is get you go to the gym and see if you can't throw somebody.
Listen, I've dislocated the shoulder 3 times and my elbow is dislocated twice. So I'm not throwing. The only thing I'm throwing back is ice cream, potato chips, some food.
And
excuses, significant excuses. Those are the heaviest
Those are good
things.
ones, though.
Lark, last one. I know last week you and I just thought of this, but last week you had the level 6 teams join in the little pregame action and things like that. I mentioned you guys because you kind of have a halftime, but you don't really have a halftime. Thought of getting the fans involved in the halftime at all? A little extracurricular, outplank your favorite pro on stage or anything like that?
We've talked about doing things that bring people out onto the stage.
Yeah,
The live TV element has made us a little gun shy so far.
gotcha. Anything could
Because
happen.
we don't have that wide buffer zone that like Major League Baseball gets or that the NFL gets or anything like that. We've got a tighter window.
Right. Yeah. You don't have
So
the NBA halftime show that lasts 25 minutes where you could do
Exactly.
100 or 100 halftime shots.
So with this halftime show, now is there an option for it to be all in English? Or is it Spanish?
Oh my.
Yeah, we're going to let him go on that. Lark, hey, thanks again, man. Appreciate you. We'll get the audio fixed for the next time, and we'll definitely have you on before the end of the season to hear how things have stepped up and going forward.
Thanks, Lark.
Great. I hope to see you guys in Nashville.
Absolutely, brother. We'll talk to you later.
Have a good one.
All right, guys. Lark joined us live, one of the creators of the Pro Cheer League. I understand the audio was not the best. I apologize. Fortunately, we record all incoming audio through the Rodecaster Pro 2. So I will cut and edit a clear interview on that aspect so that you guys can get it. But if you didn't hear about it already and you haven't checked it out already, if you're listening to this podcast and you're like, dude, I tuned in to learn about the WBC and I turned in to learn about the Olympics or hear what's going on, and we only talked about that stuff for a little bit because it was boring and NBA is terrible. Check out the Pro Cheer League. Just released. It's fresh out there. They've got their own set of superstars, their own set of rules, their own set of games. We want to see some world-class athletes before they get to the point where they're too big and you can't see them.
It's genuinely something I can appreciate.
I mean, who couldn't?
I mean, people that are biased and just want to watch the big 4 major sports.
I mean, we are a guy sports podcast, so maybe in the future they can have a halftime show where you could like speed date your favorite cheerleaders.
Sure, but some of them are dudes. So I don't know how that's. I mean, hey, whatever works. I mean,
hey, at least you'd have a chance of something.
Sure. I don't know how successful that'd be, but best of luck to you if that's your thing. No, but it's in all seriousness, that's something that I can seriously appreciate and honestly get into. I mean, it's somebody like myself who, I mean, I played some of the the big 4 sports. I played basketball and baseball my whole life, but it's cool. It's still this is still such a great athletic performance. It's so hard to throw something, whether it's 85, 95, or even 100 pounds. It's something. Not just a living human being, something to throw in the air as high as they are, working together as a team and stuff like that. I think it's sweet.
Yeah, it's awesome. And it's awesome that they've been willing to give us some time. Like I said, I had an opportunity to sit down with Lark and the commissioner while the teams were warming up on Friday afternoon. They were super open to it. And I appreciate that because we don't have the biggest fan base. We're not the most popular crowd in town, but hopefully
Does this
we'll get there.
mean with your connections now, we get Guys Night times PCL merch, exclusive merch, if you just go to bcl.com/guysnight and get that?
That would pretty awesome, but no.
That'd be sweet, though.
We don't have that.
We can work towards that, though.
However, we will put a link to some PCL merch down in the bottom. And if you followed this and you like this and you're one of the cheerleaders in the PCL, if you're one of the athletes, we would love to have you on. We'll definitely get to make sure the audio is cleaned up beforehand, but love to have a couple of them on. I know I talked to Skylar. I saw him again this weekend, and he's like, man, I meant to reach out to you. I was like, do so, bro. We'll have you on. It'll be great.
Yeah. What did he say about our video?
He said it was awesome.
That's it?
What else is he going to say?
I don't know.
No,
when someone recognizes you and throws you into just a random podcast, you go, oh my gosh, there's me.
Yeah, but these guys already got thousands of followers on there. I mean, some of these guys that you talk to, they've got 150,000 followers.
I guess I'm underestimating the true size of the audience that's following this.
Gabby Butler's probably got 5 million followers. I don't even
Really?
know. Yeah, dude. I mean,
no way.
Yeah, it's incredible the growth that
10 million. She's saying your daughter's saying 10 million followers.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, I mean, that girl that we talked about, and this is a scary situation here. While I've got you on, let me actually pull this up.
Again, I guess I'm really underestimating the sheer magnitude of this league and potential.
Yeah.
Not to my own fault, just of pure ignorance.
So I think that's where, this all comes in. Let me just pull something on. I think this is where it is because, let's see. I'm going to see if I can pull. Brooklyn. Lily. L-I. Of course, I spelled her name wrong. Oh. This is her right here.
Dude,
all right.
holy shit. She's got almost 400,000 Instagram followers.
This girl is, I think, 16. I'm going to see if we don't need to like watch all of her. She's got enough. Okay. So this is the competition. I want you to just to see this here. I'll pull this up so our fans can see it, because this just goes to show. I mean, understand, it'd be like you going to a basketball tournament when you were in high school and LeBron James being there.
Okay.
Like, you already know he's going to be famous. He's
Yeah.
already a big deal. But this is more of the TikTok level famous, right? These athletes, for the most part, are famous for being cheerleaders on TikTok that do all this stuff, which...
Can we say they're famous on social media?
Yes,
social
media.
Because there's like 8 different platforms.
Yeah. What is she famous for?
What is she famous for? Get on the mic right here and say what is she famous for?
They're not gonna be able to hear her on the mic.
Oh. Dude, I'm telling you, the tea that comes from this stuff is like, this could be such a TV show out of it. But like TLC at like Tuesdays at 7:00. I'm telling you.
All right, so here's the video. This is all right. So convention center's huge, right? I mean,
can
it's
you just click on that video, please? I just want to say, wow,
look at this.
Wow.
So people following her to her stall while she's going to the bathroom. They're following her to her hotel room and stuff. Like,
And they were like knocking on the door.
dude, that's crazy. I seriously, and this is why I would have never any ambition to become famous at all, because this to me is like my worst nightmare of like people constantly knowing what I'm doing. Like, I can't sit down and eat a meal without someone asking me for a picture or an autograph. Now, with my level of ball knowledge, nobody's ever going to ask me for a picture or an autograph.
so Gabby Butler's got 3.5 million followers.
She's got almost 4 million followers on social media.
Yeah. I mean,
Bro,
who
what?
knows? What's the one? What's some of the athletes? Brown.
Brum. Oh my gosh. There we go.
Yeah, 425,000 followers. I mean, they're famous, you know.
and honestly,
and good for them. They found a way to be successful.
Not on the
Ruby, what?
I don't have that.
Yeah, 19,000. She's a high schooler. I mean, I feel weird even looking it up. So let's
maybe
get
not
off of that. But yeah, I mean, there's here. Let's look up college here. I think this is no, that's not it.
Still, that blows my mind.
I
That like I
actually
didn't
reached
realize.
out to-
I seriously, they're going into
Here
this.
you
Like,
go.
people have to
Corey
understand. Like,
Little, a man, male
6
cheerleader.
million
6
followers.
million followers, dude. Yeah, I actually think I reached out to him. Obviously, the chances are he's got plenty of other interviews that he can do. But yeah,
Wow.
Yeah, I don't know. Oh, here he is. 230. Yeah, so I mean, these athletes have plenty of opportunity to earn a living, and obviously
This is like opening up like a whole, like you're just pulling back the curtain on stuff for me to not have any idea about this world, like at all. Like, granted, again, as a guy, yeah, it's just a typical, dude. I mean, I went to college. I was a typical frat bro. Like, I have no idea about this world. Now I'm kind of getting like into this. Now I'm interested to really see what's
gonna
going
go
on.
home and watch.
Come this weekend to my
I'll be busy this weekend.
Well, hey, you know what? Now you can go watch 200 Gabby Butler videos and feel comfortable about because she's 28.
How about
a 6-pack.
Yeah, she's more fit than me.
By such a far stretch, dude.
She's a professional athlete, guys. I mean, let's be honest here.
She like she has like school. I'd have surgery on it, but
Gonna have to start a cheer podcast. We can hear all about this.
Yeah.
Welcome to the Guys Cheer Podcast.
Welcome to the Girls Cheer Podcast.
All right, everybody. Ooh, what was that? That
Oh
was
my
weird.
Lord.
What the heck? All right. Hopefully you can still hear us and we're still on. Appreciate everybody that joined in, listened to everything. Like I said, I'll get that interview cleaned up with Lark tomorrow. I'll get that posted separately so that everybody can hear it. But thanks so much for listening, guys. Apologize for the technical issues. Hopefully we get those squared away. Hopefully next week some interesting stuff happens in sports. We could talk about the Olympic final medal count. And I think we're about 2 weeks away from the tournament starting for the WBC,
March
right?
5th is it starts. And, Will, I know we've been talking about this, and I think we might as well just discuss this now. Any potential of us going to the Arnold, doing some interviews with some
I
athletes?
thought about it. I got to see what's going on. We should definitely make a trip down there and
I
at least interview some of the guys down there and hear about some of the work they put in. Because once again, that's one of those sports. We're a guys' sports show, but we don't have to just talk about Cleveland Browns and
whatever. Yeah,
we don't
and
talk
whatever the
football
hell
and
is
the basketball. Like we talked about the pro cheerleader tonight. The Arnold, it's got its own set of pros and the discipline that it takes to be a professional athlete in any kind of athletic ability is something else. So. And then obviously we're going to get closer to the combine coming up, the NFL draft, and who knows all of what's going on.
If we were big enough, I would love to get a pass to go watch the combine and go interview some of those guys.
How great would that
That'd be awesome.
NFL,
Maybe next year.
If you're looking for just a couple of regular guys to come in and make things interesting, we can do that.
If you're looking for just guys being dudes who know little about ball, we're here.
We're here.
It's just a generational thing.
no, I feel also like you're not gonna go watch soccer in the Olympics. You're gonna want to. I'm gonna watch.
Yeah, but it
You're
didn't
gonna
used to be
wanna
that
watch
way.
your sport,
It didn't used to be that way. You used to watch all the
Now
sports.
it is, though.
You used to watch all the sports because you cared about your country and you wanted your country to be the best
It
country out
was
there.
was a matter of life and death, and if your country did anything less than become successful and on top, it was a failure.
Yeah, it's heartbreaking. Yeah, but
Well, she's one of the greatest. She's one of the greatest gymnasts of all time.
all right, guys. Hey, everybody, have a great night. Thank you so much for watching the Guys Sports Night, and we look forward to hearing from you soon. Make sure you comment as you're watching this recorded, and if you'd like to be on the show, we'd love to have you. Hopefully, we can get that audio squared away. Good night, everybody.
See ya.